Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. This is Dr. Robinson, and we're going to review for the Grade 8 New York State Mathematics exam. This is our show number 1 for 2025. We will be taking examples from the 2024 exam. If you need help with your homework, there's Valid Teacher Homework Helpline. Their number is 212-777-3380. Give them a call Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. They're very nice people and they will help you out. Unfortunately, this is the final year of my Math Time show that comes on Tuesdays, 4:30 to 5 p.m. only on Optimum Cablevision, Channel 15. So catch it while it's still there. I believe it'll be October when it's over. But you can catch me on YouTube. My channel name is Dan Robinson, PKMS, Peekskill Middle School. And subscribe to our channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. Better yet, write a comment because I do write back. Check out our latest video, PKMS, Peekskill Middle School Math Prep 22. And the reason why there is no other after that is because in 22 I retired. So check it out. You can tweet me at, or is it X me at, drobmath1. Coming soon, a book that I'm working on, Young Dr. Rob, My Life Before Becoming a Teacher. One of my teachers told me I'd be in jail or on drugs. All right, let's get going. We have our first question here. A group of friends went to a movie theater and paid $15 for each movie ticket. All right, that's important to know. And let me underline the $15 for each movie ticket. The group of friends shared one container of popcorn, so they shared it, and that popcorn cost $8.99. Which equation can be used to determine the total cost, and they call that C for total cost, and for N tickets, and good place to put a plus the container of popcorn. All right, so let's get this one out of the way. The movie tickets cost $15 for each person. I don't know how many people came in, but I can call that N tickets, for N ticket per person. Now, they do cost $15 for each person, so if I were to multiply 15 by the N, that would give me the $15 each one of those persons would have given to get into the theater. Now it says there was popcorn involved, so they shared it. How much was the popcorn, Dr. Rob? $8.99. So that's in addition to the cost of the tickets. So if the tickets cost $15 per person, we would multiply 15 times N, and the cost of the popcorn, which is $8.99. So I pretty much have a nice equation that I wrote. I can put the 15 next to the N variable because a number next to a letter means multiply. There is an additional amount of $8.99. Thank you for telling us the N there. And our equation would be this: 15N plus 8.99N. And that looks like, to me, the first one. All right, let me check. And that's right, that was A. So take your time, go through it. My strategy is to underline the words and the numbers that make sense that you're going to use. So that's usually how I write them. All right, let's move on. What is the slope of the line on the coordinate plane that passes through the points 2, 2, and -1, -2? All right, they got an interesting word there, slope. And I believe we have a formula that we should know about point slope. When you're given 2 points, all you have to do is subtract them, and that'll be over the subtraction of the other point. So what do I mean? I'll call this point 2, and I don't like that. I'll call that point B, and I'll call this other guy point A. So all I got to do is subtract the x's and the y's. So remember, the coordinate is written as the x comma y. So they want to subtract the y point from the other y point. So the y point would be the second one, the 2, minus the other y in the A column, -2. Good thing we have calculators that will help us out. And now, my x's, since I started with this y first, this will be my x first. So it'll be 2 minus, here's my second x over here, -1. And now it's all calculator work. But you should be able to handle it without a calculator, but I'm not going to do that to you. I'm going to do the work. Since there is no such thing as subtraction of signed numbers, we add them and change the sign of the second number to its additive inverse, which is opposite. So I'll change that -2 or -2 to a +2. So I have 2 plus 2, which equals 4 on the top. All right, let's deal with the bottom. And remember, no such thing as subtraction. Change it to addition of the additive inverse of the second number. So I got to change that -1 to a +1. So over here I got 2 plus +1, which is 3. So my slope is going to be top number 4, 3. And that looks like point D. All right, so hopefully you follow along with me, and that's choice D. So that's point slope. So that's something you really need to know. They call it rate of change. They might have used that word in place of slope. So let's go on to the next one. Okay, we had a lot going on here. Which equation represents a linear function? All right, we know function is a relationship between two letters, and linear though. So they are putting that in front of the function. That means there's something special about the way that is graphed. And I'm going to pull out something that'll help you out. The word linear is the first 4 letters spells line. So that's pretty much giving you a hint what you're looking for. So we are looking for a line. So I got all of these, but I wish I had a graphing calculator. It would really help me out because I could really see what they are. But I'm going to tell you right now that a lot of these have different exponents. So I'm looking at this one has an exponent of 2, that one has an exponent of 2. When you have an exponent of 2, that's called the parabola. So that is a U-shaped curve. Here, this one has a 3, and that exponent is called cubic. You might remember hearing a cube uh, in the formula list. Well, that 3 represents the exponent called cube. Now, this one doesn't have exponent in it. It just has a fraction. Well, um, since the fraction is not what we're worried about, we're looking at the x. What is the exponent of the x? Well, when they don't write it, it's a 1. So that means it's linear. So my answer would be choice A, the linear, because it's linear. It only has an exponent as highest, which is 1. So A would be it. Let me take a little trip to the internet and get my graphing calculator, like I said, so we can see the picture. So let me erase that. There is the first one, y equals 1/2 x minus 3. So let's look at the graph of that. That's red. This red line comes up, and it's a straight line, and that's why we would choose that one for the linear. But let's take a look at the graph of the others. So here was the second one. It had a exponent of 2. Notice this blue line is a U-shaped curve. It's a parabola. Well, let's look at this other one. And I notice it's the same. Let me go back and see what should it be. Okay, so it was 5. Okay, so this one should have been plus 5. Okay, now it goes way up there. And pull this back a little bit. So there it is all the way up there, but it's still the shape of a U. All right, let's get that out of the way. And here's the third one. Green, we have x squared plus 2x. And notice it's still in the shape of a U, a parabola. And let's get the last one. We had the 1/5 to the third. I mentioned it was cubic. This is what that graph looks like when you have an exponent of 3. So it's curves, and when you get into trigonometry, they really go wild with that stuff. So let me put them all together so you can see these things on one graph. So there's the colors that match out. The red line is the red straight line was the line we were interested. That's why it's linear. Here's the 2 and 3. Those 2 were parabolas, and the fourth one, the third, was a cubic. So that's a nice little lesson on the different ones that we have. Okay, so linear, the answer is A because it has an exponent that is 1. So that's important to know. So I hope you're understanding what's going on. If not, rewatch the video and write down your questions. And I'm retired, but I will answer your question. All right. Which list of numbers could represent the lengths of the side of a right triangle? So we got all these sides, and I remember that when you guys were given the test, they gave you something called a reference guide, reference sheet. So here's your reference sheet. And I got this from last year. And when you're talking about right triangles, one theorem should come to your mind, the c squared equals a squared plus b squared, which is the Pythagorean theorem, so you can use that to help you out. So let me pull this out. And what's nice about this, all of these numbers are set from smallest to highest, and which lets me know I can put A, B, and C. So all I got to do is a little calculator work. So I'll put in my formula 5 exponent plus 10 exponent 2, see what that equals to? 125. And now let me type in 13 x squared. So if they're the same, no, they're not the same. So I cannot make a right triangle out of A. So A is no good. So I'm not going to play around with this. Let me get to my calculator and clear this out. Let's try 10 squared, we're trying to see now, plus 24 squared, that equals 676. So let's try 26 squared and see if that equals 676, and lo and behold, yes it does. So that was the one that worked out for us. It can make a right triangle because the side squared equal the and added together equals the hypotenuse, which is the longest side squared. That's a way of looking at it, but you can use your calculator to get the formula. So our choice answer was C. All right. The table below represents a function. If you remember before, when they say function, there's a relationship between the two letters. So there's some type of relationship between x and y. Which statement describes the function? So they want us to give a description of the function. Well, if it's a function, that means it has some type of relationship to each other. So if I go down, I can see what's the difference between these two numbers from 2.5 to 3.5. The difference is 1. And now I go down the difference between 3.5 and 4.5. Again, 1. And the difference between 4.5 and 5.5 is 1. So I notice they have that in common as we go down. What happens as we go down this side? Well, 7.5 to 10.5, if I add 3 to it, I get 10.5. If I add another 3 to that, I get 13.5. And when I add 13.5 plus 3, I get 16.5. So I have a relationship, and that relationship, you should know, deals with the slope. Or you can say 7th grade, constant of proportionality. So we have 3, which was the y that was consistent, and for the x consistent, number was 1. So we have 3 over 1, our slope is 3. But they ask you to describe the function. Well, if you have a slope in a line, and it's going to be linear. So they want to know when you graph this, this is going to be a line because of the slope we got. So A says the function is nonlinear. That means not a line, and because they have the y-intercept of 0. Well, I don't even see a 0 there. You can find it, but that's not true. And I would also say nonlinear. No, if you have a slope going on there, it's definitely linear. The function is linear because the rate of change, they're giving us rate of change, is constant. Rate of change is another way of saying slope. It is constant. We proved that over there, so I would go with B. But let's check out what else they got. The function is linear because the y-intercept is a constant value. What y-intercept? I didn't see one. The only thing that was constant was the slope, and that was what we got up here. Y-intercept is when x is equal to 0, and that's not even there. So I'm going to get rid of him too. And they're going to say, indeed, the function is nonlinear. Well, I'm not going to say that because the rate of change is not constant. I can't say that either. There is a constant rate of change, which is 3 over 1, and it is linear. So I'm sorry, D, you're no good either. My only answer was choice B. So, good to know about the slope. I hope you're getting what's going on. If you're not, watch the video again and write me a note, and I will write you back. All right, here we got a 1-point question. The area of a square-shaped garden is 324 square feet. What is the length in feet of each side of the garden? All right, well, here's a little something you should know about area. I think it was on the sheet of reference. So area is side squared. So that means if I have 324, that's feet, that's going to equal to some number times itself. So I'm going to get my calculator out because this could take us a while, but if you got a calculator, it helps out. So instead of asking what times what is 324, I can take the square root of 324. So I'm going to type square root 324, close the parenthesis, and I will get that number times itself equals what I need. And I can check it. If one side is 18 to the second power squared, that should equal 324. And yes, it does. So there we have it. Our answer is 18. 18 feet is the answer. So 18 feet. That was nice, not bad. 1 point. All right. All right, here's another 1 point. This looks bigger, though. The line segment AB is graphed on a coordinate plane shown below. What is the length in units of the line segment AB? So they want to know how long this thing is. Well, it's good that we had our Pythagorean theorem because that dealt with right triangles. You know, we can make a right triangle out of this. So let me get my line tool and which one? I don't want that one. There it is. I want, let's see, what color is good? Purple's nice. All right. I'm going to walk down to where A is with my purple line because I want to make a right triangle out of this. And I'm now going to use my blue and walk over to where A is. Notice I got a right triangle here. And since I do have it, I can find the value of line AB. So line AB, and let me get a color, we'll call C. And if we only knew the value of this side and that side, we would be able to use that Pythagorean theorem to find the distance between that. So there's a distance formula, by the way, you could use, but I like this way because we've been practicing with the Pythagorean theorem already. So let me count from A to this part. So A starts at the 2 and ends up at the 7. So if I subtract them, that'd be 5. Or if I count over from 2 to 7, that would give me 5. Now, all I got to do is count up from down here, which is at the 4, and count all the way up here, which is at the 8. So let me count from here to here, from -4 to 0, that's 4 boxes. And now let me count up from here, so far I got 4. And let me count up from 0 to 8, that's another 8 boxes. So 4 boxes down there, 8 up there, that gives me a total of 12. So this purple line is 12. And now I can put that in my Pythagorean theorem. I made a mistake. Well, A doesn't. Well, let me put that. Let me undo that. All right. So my altitude is 12. Not drawing the scale here. And my base or bottom is 5. So just like I did a few minutes ago, let me get my calculator and type 12 squared plus 5 squared, and see what that equals. Equals 169. Now just to find out how much is C, I have to take the square root of 169, and that'll give me the number that I'm looking for. So the square root of 169 is 13. So that means, sorry about that. So that means side C is 13. And we have found the distance of that line, AB. So 13 square units. All right. Oh, 13 units. So Pythagorean theorem comes in handy. There is a distance formula, though, that you may use as we alluded to it as we were doing the problem about the difference between the coordinates. So that's another way of looking at it. But I like this way because I like to draw. So I hope you're getting what's going on. If not, rewatch the video and write me a note. I'll be glad to answer it for you. Aw, man, it's over already? I was just having fun. Well, if you need help with your homework, there's Dial a Teacher Homework Helpline, and give them a call at 212-777-3380. Monday to Thursday, 4 p.m. to 7 p.m. They're very nice people, and they will help you out. This is the final year of the Math Time Show. Watch us on Tuesday, 4:30 p.m. to 5 p.m. only on Optimum Cable Vision, Channel 15. You can still watch my videos on YouTube. My channel name is Dan Robinson, PKMS, Peekskill Middle School. Subscribe to my channel. Give us a thumbs up if you like what we're doing. And better yet, write me a comment so I can know if I'm still helping you or not. Check out our last video with me and my students and the faculty from PKMS, Peekskill Middle School, Math Prep 22. Tweet me or X to me, DRobMath1. I gotta fix that. Study with Dr. Rob. If you'd like a copy of the sheet on this topic, I will gladly send it to you. You can reach me at robinsonmath@aol.com. Coming soon, got a book I'm working on called The Young Dr. Rob, My Life Before Becoming a Teacher. You'll be in jail or on drugs. Thank you, Mr. G. Good luck on your exam. I know you're going to do well because you've been watching my tutorial videos. Buena suerte en el exámenes. And that's it, folks. So I hope you enjoyed review for the 8th grade New York State math exam with Dr. Robinson. Take care.